In today's video, we have a whole bunch of really fun stuff to do. We are on basically part 3 now of revamping the video game store. You guys saw in the first episode of this, we went through all the inventory systems, tried to reinvent a new system, but I came to the conclusion that the one that we have right now will work fine. You'll notice that last episode we went through, did a count of all the items. We also shipped out a whole bunch of other items. But today is really the start of when we're going to start vamping this thing up, or is it revamping this thing up, starting to scale this thing up, so we can build it back to what it used to be. Building up the video game store so that eventually we can hit that $10,000 a month kind of range. I know it sounds a little bit high, but maybe we can get there. Otherwise, we're going to figure out, what we want to do with this store based on how well it performs. So we're going to start doing some listings, see how well things are selling, check all the margins, check all the numbers on this business, run them and see if it's worth us keeping to run, keep running the business. And if it's not, then we're going to shut it down. But in this series, we're basically figuring that all out. And it's not really as much a series as it's just sort of normal videos for the channel. This is what we were doing before when we started. And of course, we got distracted with all this stuff for the new store, but we are back at it now. So with that all in mind, let's not waste a single second. I'm going to go into the accounting system that we built a couple episodes ago and figure out all of our beginning inventory, our beginning supplies, all of our beginning balances for the accounting systems. Once we have all those outlined, then we can actually start right ahead listing a whole bunch of things. So the other thing that we're going to need to do is eventually purchase a whole bunch more shipping stamps, because that was one of the things that we're sort of missing or I'm running out of. We have maybe a few left, maybe like a pack of 6 or whatever. But we need to buy like a whole bunch more. So I believe we can get those on the Canada Post website. We're going to find out today, but if we can, we'll place an order for a couple of those as well and have those shipped here. But yeah, let's see. We have a whole bunch of items we can potentially test and get listed today, as well as, of course, we can go ahead and get all these inventory numbers and all the figures set out for the brand new store. So let's go ahead and do that, or not for the brand new store, for the video game store, but we're going to go ahead and do that on the brand new inventory sheet. Okay, so really quickly, in case you missed last episode, this is what we kind of figured out, is that we have all these games right here that are ready to be listed. They all have games inside of them. They just have to be tested. These ones here are actually already tested. They were the ones that were listed on the store, or that weren't actually listed on the store that I thought were listed on the store, but they've already been tested, so they're ready to get listed today. As well as we'll test through a couple of these, figure out which ones we can list today, and get right to them. We also have a couple books over here full of different discs. There's 2 of those there, and they are full of things that we can list as well. Got a couple new Xbox One games, I don't know, a couple things there. And then we can eventually get on to all these ones. I want to get the easy ones out of the way first, get them listed and start selling. And then we'll get on to the harder ones. These all have to be refurbished, as well as there's about 200 somewhere. I don't know where, but in the big bag, there's about 200 PS2 games that also have to get refurbished. And then over here, these are just empty cases. So we'll go through these today, though, and figure out which ones we want to list. We'll probably do about 15. So I just ran the math, actually. If we wanted to list all 500 of these games within the next month, we could just do about 16 games a day, and that will get us to our target. So I think that's what we're going to aim to do today, if not a little bit more, but we'll see what we get up to. But let me go ahead and figure out all the beginning inventory and beginning entries for our accounting system. Okay, guys, well, good news. All the new opening balances are set. I know what some of you guys may have been thinking, by the way, when I was kind of discussing doing that, is why would I do this right at the end of the year, late December, versus just waiting until January 1st and just doing it then. I want to do it now, and again, it's all a little bit complicated because of the way my my accounts are all structured, but I wanted to do it now, first of all, because we wanted to do all the listings today, and also I don't mind doing, again, closing entries at the end of this year in, 15 days, and to carry it over, because it's not that much to do anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing. Anyway, I'll stop with all the accounting stuff. I've had 2 straight videos of it, so we won't talk about it anymore. I've got a light set up here. I've got the white table all ready to go. I've got all the remotes set up, except for the Wii remotes. I should get some of those out. We might not be doing any Wii games today, actually. I'll just save that for another day, because I think I'm not sure where there even are, so I'll have to find some remotes. But anyway, we'll do the other games today. So I'll get the rack on here. In fact, I think it's already hooked up, so we just got to hit these, and now it comes to life. So we will get this all going, get some games tested, and we will see what we can get listed. Also, I have this charging right here. This is a camera battery for the camera that I'm going to be shooting the pictures of the games with. Now, nothing too special here, a very old Lumix camera, but it does the job. So what we're going to be doing is, or it's not a Lumix, it's a Panasonic, isn't it? But what we're going to be doing is just setting up the tripod right here with the camera, and we'll just take pictures like that. I don't do these drafts on my phone because it takes far too long to go through it all like that. It's much easier to do just with an SD card. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Obviously, if you guys have suggestions to improve the speed of this, that would be much appreciated, as I do have quite a few games to go through here. With that, let's jump right into it. Okay, so now I got the listing table full of all the items that we have ready to list. These are all the ones that are supposedly supposed to be working. We're going to figure that out here in a second. But yeah, all the items that are supposed to be working, sorted by category, so this should make them much easier to list because I don't have to change the title of the console at all. So we'll be able to go through these pretty simply. To start off here though, I do have this pile of stuff that's already tested, ready to go. I'm going to add any new sealed items. We'll get them out of the way as well and do them with this pile today. So those are definitely happening. I knew there was one more. This is another new sealed item. So we'll put that in the pile and then we'll just start testing. So we'll see what we want to test today. Whatever we get through, we will add to that pile and then we'll get it all listed. Also, I wanted to quickly bring up things like this. You see this big pile of sports games here. Oftentimes you can sell these as individual listings, but not for very much, and they take quite a while to sell. I think I'm just going to be pulling those all and putting them into big lots. Maybe I'll check to see if I have some of them available. I don't know. It probably isn't even worth it. I'll just end up lotting them all up and selling them as is. In fact, I might actually wait. I might wait until I get more of them because I feel like a lot like this big wouldn't actually sell, but I feel like if I can have a big enough lot and just blow them out at a really cheap price, we could probably do that easier. So I might wait until we get maybe a whole bunch from every single different platform. Anything that's not sports related though, for now I'm going to sell or just list at least. And then, because I don't want to be trying to figure out prices on the spot right now. So instead I'm just going to list them all. And then again, if they don't sell in like, 4 to 6 months, we will just bundle them up as well and sell them in a mass lot in an auction. Really quickly, for anybody wondering how to get stickers off of games like this that really don't want to come off, I've heard of people using Goo Gone before. I think it's a great solution. If you don't have it though, and you want to just go the easy way out, heat gun. Just hit it with that for a couple minutes and, or not even a couple minutes, a few seconds. It heats up right away and the stickers peel right off. Oh guys, look what we're back doing. We are at the JFJ, which we will be using a lot here in the future. In fact, I may even go online and order another one of these as just sort of prep for the future because I can see that we're already running out a little bit. So anyway, we got the white thing in here. We've got a game that is a little bit bad. I don't know. It didn't look too bad. It's got some like cleaning dots all over it and stuff. Okay, you really can't see that, can you? But anyway, you'll have to trust me. There's some scratches on here. You can kind of see them there. So we're going to give it a quick refurb and see if it will work because right now it does not. Get a little bit of that compound on there. Close the lid. Turn the unit on for the first time in 6 months and 2 minutes. Really quickly, I wanted to just show you while that thing is getting fixed, what happens if you hold the heat gun on the disc for too long. It's not a big deal, but it does create these creases in the plastic. So if you're going to do it, just heat it up for a second. This heat gun I have here is fairly powerful, and if you leave it on there for too long, it will create these sort of hard to get out creases. So you don't want that to happen. Just be careful when you're taking off your stickers. And this just wrapped up, so let's take a quick look here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Obviously it's got the compound all over it, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Most common complaint around this unit is that this knob right here leaves a ring around the disc, and people are not wrong. They always ask me, what do I not like about this unit? You see this ring, and that's a bad example because this is actually a lot of that's compound, so they will come off, but there is the ever so slightest little ring around there. You're gonna kind of notice it there. Anyway, so it does create a little ring around here. So if it's a very expensive game, I don't recommend just leaving this on here like this. I've seen some people attach a little piece of felt, a circular piece about the size of this. That will perfectly solve it, and it totally works without, needing to cause these ring damage on each one of the discs. This does not affect the playability of the disc though whatsoever. So in my case here, it's not a big deal. Oh guys, just cleaned it off. I feel 1,000 times better about selling that. You can see there's still some light scratches on it, but it's a lot better than it was. So trust me when I say that, this thing is ready to go. Okay, it's in for round 2 right now. It still did not want to work on the PlayStation 2 system. By the way, I have not figured out a strategy for what to do with games that have been refurbished and tested again, but still do not work. I've got a couple of them here. Some are slightly valuable, and I believe that they could work with the use of a better refurbishing machine, possibly. So maybe I could lot those all up. Like I've got plenty here that again are, either really scratched up or not working, that are going to get refurbished. But the ones of those that still don't work after refurbishing, I think we should sort out into another pile that can get bundled up and sold as is, basically. We'll mention that they were refurbished once or twice and they still didn't work, and then somebody could maybe buy those and use them in, a more professional disc refurbishing machine. By the way, because it is kind of annoying to run games through twice on the machine, because again, that takes 4 minutes per game, that's kind of ridiculous. There's a couple solutions for that. Again, if the game is not worth something, and I know that, we might just throw it into a refurb but not working pile right off the bat. If it is more valuable, obviously I'll keep trying, and it's worth the time. The other option though is that we could get a secondary machine. That might not be such a bad idea. Again, depending on whether or not we like the numbers and whether or not we decide to scale this up. If we do, not opposed to buying another machine right there and we can do twice as much, which might be not such a bad idea. Especially as I look at this pile of discs, which I think for the most part needs to be refurbished. That's not going to be very fun with one machine. Well, I gave it a couple minutes here, and it looks like it's still not working. I just pressed X there, so it's not loading. Yeah, no data, reading discs. We are going to scrap this one. So I'll put that in the pile. It'll be the first of many in the pile of refurb, but still not working. Okay, so this is the bin that I will use for now to store all these games. I remember these ones from a couple months back. Actually, I guess probably at least 6 months back. We have Smash Bros, which I refurbed so many times trying to get to work, and it didn't work. So I don't know, maybe that'll be, you know, something that draws people into the lot. And then we've got Monopoly, which also doesn't work. So we will continue to grow this, and then when we're ready, when we feel like there's enough, we will lot it all up on eBay and we will sell them. So this is where we will photograph the games. You'll notice here in the listing pile that I tried to do them by category or by console, so I can list them very easily. For example, all the PS2 ones, I can sell a similar off of those. And I can do the Xbox ones together, and then all these are new games, Nintendo DS, because they're DS games, and I can transition in these new games. That's because when they come off the SD card, they're all going to be in order of when I take them. This way, it speeds up listing a whole bunch. Anyway, here we go. We've got the camera set up. You can see the shot that the buyer will see. I'm going to take one with the front of the disc, or one with the front of the case. Oh, this is the sealed one, so I'll just probably take one of the front and back. But normally what I would do is I would take one of the front and one of the disc and manual. Anyway, let me get these all photographed, then we'll get them listed. Okay, just wrapped up all the photos of these games, so now we're going to go ahead, get them all listed, and I'm going to go over all the numbers I had entered in the system today so we know exactly what we're working with, and then we can start to track these incoming sales. So basically, think of this as a new business almost in terms of how I'm tracking it from now on, which I'll be fully transparent on numbers with and give you guys updates, you know, on probably a weekly basis on the numbers or a monthly basis, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully these will start to sell, but we'll get them listed right now. Okay guys, so I actually just finished listing all of the games for today. I ended up using two bins. I used this bin right here. This is V35, and I used V33. And what I did was I brought this one over to my desk, filled it up until it was full, and then in the sell similar, I just changed the bin name, grabbed another empty one, and started filling it up again. This is the way to do it. You guys left me so many great comments on the last couple videos, I suppose, about how to do the inventory system, and a lot of you guys, I think at least two of you guys said just keep it as it is, and you were right. This is super simple to do, and it works fine as it is right now. I was just overthinking it way too much and wasted so much time trying to figure out a new solution, so this is working great for now. We're just going to leave it, but yeah, super happy with how it turned out. Anyway, we ended up listing a total of 17 items total for a total of $164. So not too bad. You know, we're always trying to aim over that $100 mark. Generally speaking, when I was doing these bins of 18, so the fact that we're at 160 is pretty good. We had Hit and Run, which was a $30 game, so that helps out a lot. And then a couple new ones there, which are worth up in the $10 range. So anyway, there we go. Pretty good. Also, I mentioned that I was going to share with you guys the opening balances for the accounts that I'd done. And in accounting, these are just the different sort of accounts in your books. Anyway, here's the opening balances. We had 796 items, $1.90 each was the price that I thought was the fair value. It was actually the average price of all the items that we purchased. $1,500 in inventory. We've got purchased equipment. Just all these things are just other things in the business, but we've got just equipment, $310 worth of equipment. That's the JFJ and the shelves. Some bubble mailers. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff in here, but this will do for now. Supplies, $104, and $5.82 in stamps. Also, I mentioned that I wanted to purchase some more stamps at the beginning today. These are prepaid shipping expenses, but anyway, we have purchased a 4-pack and purchased a 3-pack at $1.30, 4-pack at $1.94, $79.05 is what I spent on stamps today. Okay, there you go. That's full transparency into the books of what we're doing here. Now we're going to see if we can make some sales and get these numbers to increase. Okay, guys, so I was actually going to wrap it up for today's video. Again, I know we were just sort of getting into things here, but now we've got all the games sorted out by the lot. I can come down here tomorrow and I can just start going through them all and picking up a stack of any console, testing them all, making sure they work, and then listing them on eBay like we did here today. Overall, though, I'm really happy with the progress that we're making with the new store here, or with the new version of the video game store. I feel like we finally figured out the inventory system, figured out the accounting systems, and we figured out the new listing process. Everything's running really smooth, so this shouldn't be too long before we have all these 400 games up, start making that profit, and then we can hopefully invest it in some more lots. With that all said, though, I'm not going to drag this outro out any longer than it needs to be. We're going to end today's video there. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for the systems I'm using here today, or anything that you'd like to add to this video, please feel free to leave those down below. I always appreciate reading them, and I'm sure some other people out there get some value from them as well. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys all in the next video.